Alrighty, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is LaughNgamez here. I am back with another one of these AlphaStar videos. Not too many of these to go now, but we have got the makings of a good match, as it's going to be AlphaStar taking on one of the best Starcraft 2 players there is, a Grandmaster, the elusive Grandmaster title. And yeah, a GM Protoss player. Definitely no slouch, but then again, neither is AlphaStar, as the AI has got some incredible talent. If you can call it that, it's just incredibly good. What is talent? Talent's like, talent means you're good at something, right? But talent can be achieved by practicing, or is it just one of those things you're born with? But AlphaStar wasn't born, it was created. That's a whole can of worms. But I think we can all agree that AlphaStar is pretty good at Starcraft. And we're on the map Kairos Junction for game number 1 in this best of 3. AlphaStar just opening it up pretty normally. Same as this Protoss player, but as per usual, humans always going for that high ground wall off. Like 99% of the time. It's very, very rare which you see in a PvP a player not go for the high ground wall off. Their main exception would be if they go for like a low ground gateway expand. Or sometimes, I think, once in a blue moon, you'll see a Protoss player do that. But pretty rarely. And oh, we've actually got a cheeky probe moving out for the GM. Oh, there we have it. Look at that. Of course, this is PvP at its finest. The proxy shenanigans. Now, this is going to be a proxy against AlphaStar, who's just opening up normally. And by normally, I mean not going for a gateway expand. The AI has extra gateway on the way. Cybercore, same as the Grandmaster player. Just the one difference in this match is that the pylon is hanging out there for AlphaStar, whereas the pylon is hanging out here on the map for the Grandmaster, and it's definitely going to be a cheeky pylon. The GM player, if he plans on using that for a proxy, we'll see what it's for, but he wants to make sure nothing's going to follow his probe to that proxy if he'll use it. Maybe he's going to rush CTs, and that's what that pylon is for? That would be a possibility in this game. Are we going to see AlphaStar get DT cheese? That's what this is feeling like to me right now. Either that or it's just to make AlphaStar worry and do that kind of mind game thing, as that's what basically happens. You panic when you don't spot the right amount of pylons in your opponent's base. The 2 adepts for AlphaStar are out now. However, ladies and gentlemen, as they're going to cross the map, I'm not going to ask you guys to hit the like button this day. I'm going to ask you, if you happen to watch the AlphaStar content on this channel and you enjoy it, I'm going to ask you, consider checking out some of the non-AlphaStar videos that I put on this channel. Like, just try one, even if you ever haven't had it. Check out the amazing world of pro player Starcraft 2, as it is just as entertaining as AlphaStar matches. But yeah, we see the adepts for AlphaStar going to be shading on in. Gonna be pressuring the Grandmaster player, who's just going for that gateway sort of safe expand option, throwing up those pylons, constantly being forced. AlphaStar cancels the shade, but has 2 more adepts crossing the map, and then has the Oracle on the way, along with its own Nexus a little bit later than the Grandmaster players. Battery going up in the main base for the Grandmaster player will definitely be huge against defending from the Oracle. There's also one that was building in that wall, but of course it was canceled. And yeah, the Grandmaster player just going for a macro opening. As per usual, though, the GM player has got less, or the human player has got less probes than AlphaStar. But, oh, look at that, this hallucinated Phoenix. I think that was put there to follow the Oracle, just to make sure that it doesn't sneak on in anywhere, be a pain. AlphaStar it doesn't react to this. Does the AI react to that hallucination attack? For now, though, adepts for AlphaStar also being a pain, so we can't spend all day watching that. I think it actually does. I think that the hallucinated Phoenix really bugs the Oracle of AlphaStar. As the AI is like, wait, I'm under attack, but I'm not taking damage. I don't understand. I'm just gonna run away from this weird thing. It's like when some random bug's chasing you, it's like, oh god, just stay away. The Robo is done for the Grandmaster player. He has got out an Observer, is now going right into a Warp Prism, which is pretty interesting. Going for a Prism, as opposed to the usual, like, safety immortal that some players spring for, so this Grandmaster player is actually feeling confident, feeling safe, despite not seeing AlphaStar go for an expansion. But oh, here we go, AlphaStar now getting some of his first real damage this game, grabbing up a lot of workers. Looks like one of the oracles will get killed as a result, maybe both will go down, and all of a sudden that makes things much more worth it there for the Protoss player. He's just got to make sure he's queuing up probes as this chaos is going on to replace his workers, because he has lost a lot. Yeah, the Grandmaster player kind of slipping here a little bit as he's not replacing his probes. I think, is he just going to go for a big all-in behind this? Because, man, this GM player showing weakness in his macro, that's for sure. Like, this is definitely one of the ways that AlphaStar has influenced my play. The first thing I do when I start taking harassment, doesn't matter like what's going on, it takes half a second to press your command center hotkey, your Nexus hotkey, your hatchery hotkey, and make a drone, make a worker, whatever. And the Grandmaster player didn't do that. And the Grandmaster player also had a very high amount of Chrono Boost, showing macro weakness in his play. You want to be using that Chrono Boost. 200 energy on a Nexus is not good. And it does show weakness from the Grandmaster player. He's going to try and make an attack happen, but the problem is AlphaStar's gotten Immortal out. He's going to try and push on in. AlphaStar uses a Force Field. There is, of course, Force Fields of the Grandmaster player, and he is going to try and segment out some of these units, but his Force Fields really weren't the best. The Prism gets targeted down, and that is a big disaster for the Grandmaster player. Not having that, can't reinforce, can't really do anything, and the Grandmaster player's economy behind this is just not backing him up. All of a sudden things, yeah, are looking really poor for the Grandmaster player. He's now burning that Chrono Boost, but he could have had a much higher worker count if he was using that constantly. You should never have, I'd say, more than 100 Chrono Boost energy on a Nexus. I don't think there's really justification to have that. You should be using it for something, whether it's to get out your units a little bit quicker, just be making workers. Yeah, I don't think that the Grandmaster player is using his Nexus energy appropriately. Like this should be Chrono Boosting right now. He's making probes, not Chrono Boosting them, and he's got a ton of energy. If you're a Grandmaster player, that shouldn't be... That shouldn't be the case. Let's take a look. Okay. AlphaStar going to be moving out, potentially going for a big attack. The Grandmaster player doesn't have a shield battery at his base. He's got a ton of sentries, so he can spam down force fields to keep AlphaStar out of his base. And now he's starting to use that Chrono Boost energy a little bit, but always be spending your Chrono Boost energy. I feel like it's been a while since I went on a rant like that. Well, let's take a look at AlphaStar's base. No Chrono Boost energy. It's just over 50. I bet it's going to use that one pretty soon. Could be saving it for a recall, though. Who knows? Just having one with recall energy is generally good. Let's take a look here. You see this Immortal, another Immortal on the way for the Grandmaster player. He's warping in more units. He's actually just going to keep AlphaStar out of his base by tossing down force fields. He's going to take a fight, but just going to be relying on that wall. He needs to toss down more force fields to keep those Immortals out, because those are going to expire soon. He'll be in big trouble as the Adepts are working on his army. Most of his sentries are out of energy or are dead, though, which is a big problem. His Immortal gets lifted up, and the Grandmaster player is going to die, and he is a dead nerd. He put up a good fight there, trying to hold on at the end, but just kind of was too far behind from the way the game had gone. Phoenix lifting up the Immortal, probes are pulled, but it is far too late. GG gets called, and AlphaStar takes yet another one in this series. GG. Okay, so here we are into the next game, and I gotta be honest with you guys, I kind of just made myself a little sad. The situation is that I went to click on a replay and I realized that I already cast it, and that means that there's one less AlphaStar game, which is just sad news. Sad news all around. But anyway, at least we've got this one here. On King's Cove, it's a Master Zerg, gonna be trying to take down Alpha Protoss. Yeah, this Overlord gonna be crossing the map. Gonna be going fly, or hover. That, I think they just hover. They're balls of gas. But then again, I think in the campaign they can control when they go up and down, so isn't that technically like flying? I don't know. Those are good questions. AlphaStar going for a good timed probe scout, just to see the normal hatchery for the Masters player. Overlord is seeing that probe come on in. And yeah, spawning pool gets thrown on up by the Masters player. Nothing out of the ordinary there. I do want to see something cheesy. I want to see like a Ling Flood against AlphaStar this game. That's what I want to see. Cheese the heck out of AlphaStar and do it well. Sadly, due to the news that Starcraft 2 was discontinued for the most part, as far as support-wise goes, that likely means that there isn't going to be any major developments for AlphaStar for Starcraft 2. So, who knows? Maybe the next big AI project will be for another game, one of those new RTSs that could come out in the future, something like that. I might move on to that. I might cast it. I wasn't around StarCraft for the very early days, for like the Wild West days, so I think it would be cool to take part in like the start of a new RTS. I'd really enjoy that, as AlphaStar is being a bit of a jerk. But yeah, for now though, I'm gonna keep playing and watching and casting StarCraft. That is for sure. We've got an Adept being chrono boosted out. Speed on the way. As that spawning pool pulses uncomfortably. Alright. There's the Stargate for AlphaStar. Second Adept on the way. The Masters player does have his 2 Lings moving across the map. Dodged that Adept, so he may get in to get a scout off, however. Might be a little bit mistimed, as this Adept is about to pop out. It's gonna be real close, as AlphaStar is gonna try and stop these Lings getting in, but no, they both make it in. And they will confirm that it's going to be a Stargate, but at the same time, the Overlord dives in for the Masters player, so a little bit redundant, but he's going to try and grab a probe. Looks like he will get a probe, so not bad. Gets a probe, gets the scout. Does have to deal with this Adept in his own base, though. Good micro from the Masters player, saving that drone. Gonna have to save yet another. Oh, doesn't quite, though. So, while he got a probe, he lost 2 drones, actually, to that Adept. Yeah, 2 drones for an Adept and a probe. I think that AlphaStar's probe was actually the unit in the natural attacking there, so just trying to go for gold. You know what, we actually got to rewind, and I'm sorry guys, I don't usually rewind, but what was it attacking at the natural? Or did the Adept Shade just complete? Okay, yeah, I guess the Adept Shade just completed. Okay, darn, I was hoping that it was AlphaStar's probe that had charged in like a legend, but not quite the case. Ling Speed is about to finish up for the Masters player. The 3rd base is going to be finishing up too. So it's all coming up Millhouse for the Masters player. But when you're playing against AlphaStar, is it really coming up? We take a look at the drone count right now. It's 29 to 34. Not great for the Zerg. He's investing into Spore Crawlers to prevent losses from an Oracle. An Oracle which is now moving across the map. Queens are going to have to be in the right position. It's all about battening down the hatches correctly as a Zerg. Looks like, yeah, this queen might wanna scooch on over. If you're a Zerg, you generally want to have your queens positioned to like the right, as that's where the Oracle's most likely to come on in. AlphaStar just decides to have its Oracle take out its Hatred on this hatchery, kills off a larva. The Oracle doesn't have much energy now at all, as the AI hasn't actually turned off the pulsar beam. It's just going to be looking for whatever damage it can get. And it's actually going to get some pretty crazy damage. Gets, oh, quite a bit. And then Adepts just shade on in that I totally wasn't observing. Drones are dying for the Masters player, and he is in trouble, I'll say. Seeing as how he hasn't been replacing these super efficiently, he's at 28 drones to 44 probes of AlphaStar. Oracle comes on in now towards the natural base, going to be killing that Spore. The Zerg is actually incredible at saving his drones this game. Like, we've seen some really good micro from that. Unfortunately, while he's good at that, it doesn't mean he's great at everything else. Or I shouldn't say, no, he is pretty great at everything else, just AlphaStar is amazing at what it does. So we'll see if the Lings for the Masters player can get some damage done, potentially cancel the 3rd base. That would be a really nice pickoff, and that's a possibility. However, the Oracle and Adepts are going to shade on in here. Oracle will activate its Pulsar Beam. The Lings, are they going to commit for this? Yes, they will, but I don't think it's going to happen. And so it's just going to be a lot of dead Lings for nothing. The Zerg player cuts his losses in runs, but only saves a few of his workers. It's not a great spot. Not a great spot for the Zergy here. King's Cove is just going to be littered with Zerg's bodies, as AlphaStar has just killed oh so many. We've got the third base up for AlphaStar, so its economy is going to be booming. We see that Immortal being chrono boosted out. The Zerg still has a scout over the main base of AlphaStar, but it's like, do you just really want to see? Do you really want to know how you die? Do you really want to see the end? Adepts, they shade into the natural. They now shade into the main base. There's a queen. The drone's doing what they can, but there's barely any units in position for the Zerg. And the Adepts are now going to shade on out. Looks like even one of them does escape. And it's currently 38 drones to 60 probes. So you guys do the math on whether that's good or bad. If you have 62, subtract 38, you get a bad time, as that's quite a large deficit for the Masters player. And I think AlphaStar is just going to be taking another 2-0 here, guys, if we're honest. It might just be 2-0, 2-0, 2-0 to the finish for AlphaStar. Adept's now going to be coming on in once again. The AI hasn't even really been transitioning up until now. It throws up a Robo-Bay and a Forge. It's just happy, killing the Zerg with Adepts, with the Oracles, as they shade on in now towards the natural base. The Zerg player has got up to 45 drones, so he's trying real hard. But AlphaStar's undoing his work as he just kills off more and more drones. They're now going to shade into the main base. The drones are running away again, as Oracles kill some workers at the third base too. It's just crazy how efficient AlphaStar is with its movements. Like, it I say only has like 200, 300 APM, but it's playing like 500 APM just for how it's all over the place. Its actions are very efficient. Adept's going to be trying to get some more worker kills. Looks like they'll get at least 1 or 2, and the Masters player is having a hard time keeping it up. We take a look right now, it's 52 drones to 70, so I mean, the Masters player is actually doing a pretty good job. Compared to earlier, where things were really bad for him, he's trying to recover, he's doing his best, he's doing his darndest. He's got to make some overlords, though, as he's pretty supply blocked right now. He's going to be getting up a Lurker Den, which I think is the right choice when you're behind in workers, behind on economy. Lurkers are great for stemming the bleeding, as you just keep losing units. And AlphaStar isn't actually the best against cloaked units too, so that's something to keep in mind. Charge is on the way for the Protoss, +1's on the way. Disruptors are already out. Oracles are flying around. They might just settle to try and kill this hatchery. Queens will come in to shut that down. Looks like the Oracle, or one of the Oracles, actually dies. They definitely had kills on them, as this one's got 10. I don't know how many the other one had, but yeah. The Masters player, I think, is definitely going to have to rely on Lurkers in order to come back this game. Hope AlphaStar derps out against Lurkers. But the problem is, the Masters player doesn't know he's playing against AlphaStar. He's just going to totally derp out against Lurkers. Spore Crawler and Queen do kill off that Oracle, so the Oracle's reign of tyranny has now ended. But we take a look, the Dark Shrine is going to be now on the way for AlphaStar. So while the Masters player was getting to some cloaked units, AlphaStar is also going to be getting cloaked units. I'm not even sure if AlphaStar understands the concept of DTs too well. We have seen it use them in the past, but either way, this is a big army coming forward. Those Lurkers really need to finish morphing for the Masters player. Are they going to morph? Are they going to burrow right away? Looks like the answer will be yes, they're going to burrow, but I don't know if the fourth base can be saved or not. AlphaStar doesn't actually have any detection with this, so the AI might just have to try and dance around these Lurkers, but the problem is the AI can go into the natural. Lurkers are now going to burrow. Disruptor Nova goes out, actually hits one of those Lurkers since it wasn't burrowed in time. Now, the Lurkers are burrowed, though. AlphaStar isn't making any detection, but oh no, the Masters player GG's out. Ah, darn it. Ah, darn it, he could have survived because the AI doesn't understand detection. Like, it saw Lurkers, but it hadn't started up an observer. Its Oracles were dead, and it wasn't using its Disruptors to try and hit them. So the Masters player could have held into that game and got a cheesy win if he had known he was playing against AlphaStar, but alas, he did not. And if you ever want to beat AlphaStar with Zerg, I'm going to go ahead and say make some Lurkers, guys. Make some Lurkers. But yeah, thanks so much to everyone for tuning into this video. Go ahead, and as I said, I'm not asking for likes on this video. If you can check out some of the other content on the channel as we approach the end of this series, I would appreciate it. I think you'll love it. But then, if you made it to the end of this video and you aren't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. I think we're starting a bell gang for those of you with the bell icon on. Join the Discord, that's linked down below. And if you do enjoy the content and want to support the channel, go ahead and hit that join button or the membership link. You can get various perks and whatnot too. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching. This has been LaughNgamez.